living here in Jersey, fighting villains from afar. You gotta find first gear in your giant robot car. You dig giant robots, I dig giant robots, we dig giant robots, chicks dig giant robots. Nice.
Hello and welcome back to the Anime Boomer Podcast. We're back and we're here to bully AniTube once again. Hi everybody, my name's Gator, the guy that runs the show, the guy that presses all the buttons and makes sure everything is working, the guy that's also usually, unfortunately, late and words I will not say on YouTube. But we have with us today our special guest, but first I want to introduce the co-host, Spooky Weeb Trash. How you doing, Spooky?
It's me, Spookum Weeb Trash the Third here, and I'm here to also say I'm an original AniTuber bully. That's how we met our current guest on here on the show, on this podcast, because I am an original, and no one else can copy me. Only we can bully the AniTubers. So
It is your God-given right. You've copyrighted making fun of AniTubers. You better watch out. She's gonna DMCA your ass. And so we are here today to make fun of AniTube. And I can think of no person better to join us on this quest than NECRO XIII. How you doing, buddy?
Good. I'm doing as kosher as I can be, so...
Well, that's good. I noticed that you had a lot of notifications coming in after your little tat-a-tat with
oh, no,
Jeff.
those are never on. Those are only for people that follow me, or people that I follow. I did not see any of the he, hims, she, hers roll into my menchies.
Well, see, that's good because I haven't seen Mad Online like that in a long time. But we're getting ahead of ourselves because let's talk about a couple of other things before we really get into the mother's basement minutia, because that's probably like an hour's worth of stuff just by itself. But first, I don't know if you guys saw the announcement, but once again, we've been talking about Netflix a lot on this show and what Netflix has been doing to anime. But once again, Netflix has gotten its disgusting Cheeto-encrusted hands on yet another beloved franchise. And by that, I'm talking about Oda's One Piece. They announced the cast for One Piece. And this is the funniest thing. The casting actually sort of lines up with what Oda wanted, except for Zoro and Sanji.
Yeah.
So you see the guy on the far right, the guy that looks like Marshall Mathers, looks like Eminem. That's supposed to be Sanji.
He looks more like Zoro.
Well, he looks more like Enel. That's who he looks like. Like, if they had said, yeah, this guy's Enel, I'm gonna be like, boom. That's like the best casting I've ever seen. But Sanji, I just don't fucking see it.
I don't see it either. Sanji is more of like he's more of a twink, if anything. He's really skinny and thin. Kind of effeminate too. This guy does not.
You mean like the guy they cast for Zoro, who's right next? See, it goes in order. It's Luffy, Zoro, Nami, Usopp, Sanji on that picture on the screen.
By the way,
I mean, Nami looks pretty accurate.
She does look accurate. The one thing that I think will get me canceled is I didn't know who the black guy was supposed to be, and then it's like, oh wait, that's Usopp. I forgot.
I wonder how many people are going to get canceled for seeing like One Piece announcement and then seeing the black guy and then immediately going to, I can't believe they made Luffy a black guy.
I'm more surprised they didn't make Nami a black girl. Because the redheaded rager is real, man. They don't want to see us thrive. Look, we're like the minorities of minorities, okay? I'm the minority amongst white people. Like, there's like, what, 1 or 2% chance that the whole population is a redhead? So I'm actually oppressed. So it's nice to see redhead representation every once in a while.
Like, are they going to give Homeboy that has the dreadlocks like Jerry curls just to play Usopp? I hope so. That's my only wish. You know what? At that point, I think it'll be a 10 out of 10.
He does kind of look like Usopp. I didn't know Usopp was, like, supposed to be an ethnic minority, though. I know, it's really weird, like, because, like, One Piece has such a weird art style where it's like I can't imagine it working anywhere else but animation or manga. It's just like it's so out there where it's just like, because I mean I mean you also have like the whole like every few months we get like Tumblr refugees pitching a bitch about like the like weird proportion size of women. It's like, motherfucker, you have guys that can blow up like cartoon like and stretch them like as far as like the eye can see, and they can do all sorts of weird shit with their bodies. And you want to complain about like hip to titty ratio size? Like, it's fiction, and I don't know how well that's going to transfer to live action. I think Cowboy Bebop had more of a chance of transferring well to live action because they don't really emote, and it's still like based on human anatomy and stuff like that. But One Piece is not based on actual human anatomy. It's loosely based off of it. It's very cartoonish.
Yeah, One Piece is supposed to be like goofy and cartoonish, and I don't know how well that's going to translate to live action. And just think about like the subject matter of the show. Like, how much they're going to absolutely just destroy that. And that's
Wait, how are they going to make the bend and stretch look? Oh, God, it's going to look like fucking Play-Doh, isn't it?
I hope it doesn't look like bad 90s CG. I think it shouldn't exist. It might be, dare I say, abomination. But I'm hoping that maybe Netflix will spend another like extra $50 to have the guys go, hey, can you make this look textury or something? And they probably do.
Oh. It's gonna
look like season 1 of Ari Freda with the fucking bad CGI monsters.
Speaking of which, I watched Clifford last night.
I
watched Clifford the Big Red Dog, and it was very much a 90s like. It was literally like a 90s like kids movie. Like
so it's like Sonic, because that's how Sonic felt to me, was that it was written in the 90s and then they stashed it somewhere with Jim Carrey's name on it. Like, I need Jim Carrey to play Dr. Eggman, and they just stashed it up there somewhere, and then they discovered it like 30 years later and like, oh my god, this makes so much sense. It
was exactly that, because it was like, if you could imagine the uncle character was just like the male lead. It's supposed to be like, you know, the wacky adult who's irresponsible. It's like if you imagine Robin Williams playing as him, it'd be literally just like a 90s movie. And so, yeah, the 90s are back. And so along with like wacky characters doing wacky things with, you know, the adults just trying to function in a human reality. But yeah, it was not very good. It was very predictable, and like also I feel like the reason why it reminded me of Clifford was honestly because this was like a multi-million-dollar movie production company, and even then the CGI looked really bad at times. Like, it literally looked like they had to animate the girl riding Clifford, and it literally looked like you took like a plastic doll, like halfway finished, and you edited her on top of a fucking dog, and it looked so bad. And if that's a multi-million-dollar company fucking up in the CGI, like, Netflix is way cheaper. How bad are they gonna fuck this up with the CGI? It's gonna be bad. It's gonna be bad.
Oh my god, this does look like a fucking abomination. Let me bring this up on the screen here.
No, it gets worse. If you can find clips of her riding Clifford, it looks bad. It looks really bad. Clifford's cute. Whenever they do like their really close up like puppy faces, it's like, okay, that's kind of cute. But like whenever she's specifically like he's in action running around and she's on top of him, it's like the last part of the movie. It's yeah. And also it's a big commentary on Big Pharma and evil corporation bad, actually. So there's also that. Like, no kidding, like the evil villain in the movie, he wears a fucking turtleneck, a black turtleneck, like most evil corporation millionaires have. Yeah, it was that. They never did a
clip that won't get us like taken down like immediately.
I don't know. Like, can you just show screenshots? I think screenshots are fine, right?
Yeah, screenshots are fine. That's what
if you can find a screenshot of her riding Clifford, it looks bad.
Oh, let me go to Giphy, because I'm pretty sure Giphy will have something. Let's see. Clifford. There we go.
It should have been like an animated movie. It would have been better, but because it's like big Hollywood, they have no belief in animation whatsoever. Yeah, it's kind of like... And then, well, if you see like the humans in particular, if you got like a close-up of like the human model inside of the ball that was deflated, It looked really bad. Because they hired like this animation team to animate puppies, right? So I think that's where they focus mostly on the animation, most just on the puppies. By the way, Clifford's a puppy the whole time during this. He's not even fully grown.
Oh Lord.
Could you imagine the big doggy turds? They're gonna be as big as that fucking tree in the background, the trees. This is puppy Clifford.
World building is destroyed when Clifford is existing in this universe, by the way.
He's gonna take a piss and it's gonna drown the whole fucking city of New York, which is where this takes place. This takes place in New York.
Just imagine trying to feed that dog. Like, how much fucking dog food is that one dog gonna eat?
Yeah, like you were joking like the whole time. It's like he's gonna vor these people and start eating human flesh because that's the only thing big enough for him to eat, or just whole ass cows and stuff. Like, he would literally have to eat a whole cow to fill up his fucking stomach. Probably a couple of cows, and that's just him as a puppy.
Probably take 2 or 3.
Yeah,
we're gonna feed Boogie to him to satiate his appetite.
Hashtag sacrifice Boogie to Clifford.
You know, desperate times require desperate measures. The big red dog demands a sacrifice.
Yeah, that was Clifford. It's a harmless kids movie, but goddamn, was it just kind of boring, predictable. I would give it a 4 out of 10. The CGI looks kind of bad, but like if that was Clifford having really shitty human models, they're not going to be that great whenever it comes to Netflix, because Netflix doesn't have 100 millions. Well, they might. I don't know, because it's Squid Game now, but like I don't know if they have enough for.
They do. They have enough for it. Listen, they're over there in LA somewhere, and they literally pay for all that office space to then get boycotted by. Anyways, but yeah, they have plenty of money.
You mean how the boycott didn't fucking work because nobody actually cares?
Yeah.
Oops.
Let's see what the budget for this movie was. Let's see. Budget. Oh, I can't find it. I guess they don't want to admit how much money they spent on this fucking movie.
Which one in particular?
Clifford the Big Red Dog.
The Big Red Doge. Where is Clifford coin, huh?
Right? Clifford coins. They're just Bitcoins, but bigger. But like 3 times the size. Let's see. The film made $2.3 million on its first day and $3.3 million in its second. It's made $9.8 million at the box office. But how much did they actually spend on it?
Does it not just come up? Usually the budget's like when you first typed it in, it'll show it.
It does not.
Damn.
Yeah, they don't actually have the budget out there. That's interesting.
Who was the company that funded them? Was it Fox or something?
It was.
Because it was
Paramount
like
Pictures.
Yeah, okay, yeah. That's how I watched it. Was I used a free subscription for Paramount.
Yeah, I can't actually find the budget for this movie anywhere. That's interesting.
Oh yeah, there was some weird there was some weird thing where like Clifford was delayed for like the longest time too, and they wouldn't air it.
Yeah, they blamed the coof is what they did.
You know what? With how bad the CGI looks at time,
that might be what it was. They could have what could have ended up happening is they aired it for people to see, because you know how a lot of these companies will like have like a test screening or whatever before they do reshoots. And so they probably did like a test screening, and everybody thought it sucked so bad.
Well,
so then they just put it back in the oven.
You know how I know how old this had to have been written like around 2018, 2019, right? When this movie was first like a thing. And you want to know how I know that? I know this because whenever the little girl was like, "Oh, what should I name you?" And then one of the names she came up with is like, "I want to name you Floyd." And
oh my lord!
Literally, it was like one of the names she thought of was Floyd.
Oh man!
Oh no!
And I was like, that does not age well, Floyd. Clifford dies with a knee on his neck.
Rest in fentanyl, King. Miss you.
Wait, was this
never forget.
God damn it. Oh, sorry. Ignore that. I'm just thinking out loud. I'm like also working on a video as we're doing this. I think I downloaded an MP3 file instead of an MP4, and I'm just a little bit annoyed. But anyway,
Spooky's been trying to download this one fucking file for like the past 45 minutes to an hour.
No, hours. It's been hours, and I'm about to give up on it.
YouTube's made it really hard to download videos from their website with any sort of decent speed. So it's you fuck up once and you've just wasted an entire like 2 hours worth of effort.
Yeah, it's bad. I don't know what they did exactly, but it's peed me off quite a bit. But yeah, I have no hopes in this, and I haven't watched any of the Cowboy Bebop because I think that's already aired, right? Or it's going to air pretty soon.
It's going to air pretty soon. They have a little teaser clip. Let me make sure to mute this so we don't get him like immediately struck. But they put this out on Twitter. It's they've got a scene from the anime compared to the shot-for-shot remake they tried to do with the actual show. And I'm gonna go play this here. So it's him reaching for the gun and aiming
in the slowest way possible
at Vicious. And you can just kind of see, I mean, people that are listening to this in the podcast can't really see it, but you can really just kind of see the difference. Like the lighting's totally different. They've got like the close-up in the anime, the close-up on the hand, the sword, and then the gun, and then it's just the shot of them pointing it at each other. But with the live action, it looks really stupid. Like,
it does. It looks so slow. It literally looks like the guy could have stabbed, what's his face?
Spike.
Like a million times over by the time he got his fucking gun.
He just pointed the gun at me.
The scene has almost no, like, intensity in it for the live action because, and this is another thing that I saw on this same thread, is people were like, oh, well, maybe because of the lighting is not the same as the anime. And I said, wow, that's not hard to do. All they had to do is literally turn them and put some light through the glass, and that's it. But they instead said, oh, we have to make this dramatic, so here's a blue filter. The same thing that they did with the water, like they're crashing into the water to land, and it's just a brown filter. It's like they went to Space Mexico all of a sudden.
Well, that's kind of like the chief complaint I've had with a lot of movies and shit lately, is that that's all they do. They put a blue filter, they put an orange filter, and then they just make everything brown. Like that, those are the three colors that you get in Hollywood nowadays.
Look, this isn't made for anime fans. People will watch this on their own. I think I saw something hours ago where someone said that they had seen the early reviews for this, and apparently no one likes it.
I'm honestly not surprised in the least bit, because it just doesn't... Never mind that the story is probably going to not be that great, even though they're apparently going to, like, rip straight from the anime itself for, like, the storylines. At least they say they are.
I don't think so. The one clip that I saw in the trailer was like Spike is consistently trying to shoot Faye in the face. And I said, they don't have that kind of relationship. Like, they deal with each other verbally, but there's never been a time where he's been aggressive, like, I need to blow her head off.
Right.
I don't know. Maybe that's just
he's
me.
Been, like, super sarcastic and snide. Like, that's the whole part of their relationship. He cares about her. He genuinely cares about her well-being. But he's also a jackass.
No take on this.
She's kind of a snooty bitch.
Spooky. Was Faye not your role model growing up?
Faye Valentine? No, I preferred my Valentine from the Yu-Gi-Oh series. That bitch can get some.
She really can. I mean, oh no, Spooky, stay on track. Come on.
Damn it. No, I don't know. I just don't find Faye to be that interesting of a character, to be honest. I much prefer the dog. And Ed is a great character, and she's not even in this too. Like,
really?
Yeah, they're not in it. Not
Ed's not in this at all. She's like one of the best characters.
Did they ever like give a reason why? Because that seems kind of weird by omission.
I
know child actors are like annoying and terrible, but like I feel like you could have like aged her up like a bit. Like she could have made her like 16 or something. It would have been fine. Like no, they got rid of Ed. Just get a short chick to play Ed or whatever. Yeah.
Like, how hard is that?
Listen, something I'm going off on another tangent, but it just kind of popped into my brain that we live in an era of...
We live in a society.
We do live in a society as well.
We live in a society.
We live in a society where we are being marketed something for a new generation. for the kids, and it's something like a Space Jam, A New Legacy, that awful movie. It's kind of like that is what we're getting now. We have Sneakerella, which is about Cinderella, but it's about sneakers instead.
This sounds like this is demographically targeted towards a certain ethnic minority.
It is on Disney Plus, so it most certainly is. And and but the other thing is like, and then we're getting this Cowboy Bebop and all of this anime stuff. They're trying to appease the people that have not watched anime beyond the year 2000. And even then, there's a large number of anime fans, in air quotes, that have only seen anime from the year 2016 and forward. Because they...
Oh, so you mean like the annoying weebs that can't stop talking about Demon Slayer?
Yes, and the ones that have just discovered... Like, this was a video, and it was on a live stream of some AniTubers. They know who they are. They made a point to make a video about Love Lab, which is a show from 2016. They just discovered it last year.
Love Lab? That sounds like ecchi trash. Is that what it is?
It is not ecchi. It's just a little like funny show. It's about these girls that don't know anything about how to get boyfriends, and so they're like, it's just like slapstick comedy almost.
Oh, is that that's the one with the blackface in it? Oh, that's pretty based.
Yes. But it's supposed to be it's a comedy show, and the weebs didn't know it existed until last year, and they're like, okay guys, this is kind of problematic.
Oh, hold on. Oh, that Gator found it.
Yeah.
I
found it.
So,
holy shit.
They didn't watch anything before this. And if they did watch anything before it, then they think that it's high art. You could tell them Trigun, and they might say, well, I watched a little bit of it, but have you seen Code Geass though? It's one of those. It has to be the most pretentious picks.
I mean, like, I don't know, like, anime's so normie now, but it's like, you have to have, like, I know there's already, like, an anime, like, iceberg, but you have to, like, update that now, because it's like, Demon Slayer is a $1 billion business now. I don't know if you guys know this. They have their own, like, theme, like, section of theme park in, what is it, Tokyo, Universal Studios. Yeah. Like, it's huge now. Like, and then
it's
you have
outselling almost all fucking terrestrial United States comic books combined at this point.
Yeah. I mean, like, I love Demon Slayer, and I'm looking forward to the next season, but, like, I mean, it's introduced so many new weebs now, and it's just, like, it's normie terror. Like, I mean...
Well, it's the monkey paw situation.
I mean, the only thing you can really compare it to now is, like, movies, like, because there's, like, MCU fucking trash, right? Marvel stuff.
Don't worry, that bubble's really close to popping here soon.
And that's what it is.
Eternals dealt a death blow to it, but see, here's what's going to happen. I do want to get into this segue real quick, because I have a lot of comments about this. Eternals dealt the death blow. Spider-Man's going to be the giant Band-Aid. But then the whole shebang is going to completely collapse when Ironheart and Miss Marvel and all of these shows just tank. That's when they're going to be like, oh no, what have we done?
People they're getting burnt out. That's why back in the 90s, for the longest time, there was a period where we didn't have superhero films until this new MCU and the DC EU that they keep trying to redo, and they keep messing it up. There was a space in between because people were getting burnt out on superhero movies. Like the people forget that black superheroes. By the way, I looked at this on I think it was like HBO Max. They had Steel on there, and I said, "Whoa, Static Shock, the cartoon series, amazing." But we were in the weird period where there were no like big budget movies like the MCU, and so now it's just been run into the ground. But they had a plan for it. This is my thoughts purely, is that they had a plan with the MCU, and they saw it all the way through. And now they're just throwing their hands in the air like, well, what do I do?
You don't love to go to your favorite Marvel movie and see the good guys win for like every time for the millionth time?
The last time I saw a Marvel movie in theaters was Iron Man 3.
Yeah, those NECRO. So if you guys are listening, this is a little NECRO like popcorn seller thing.
The lolly.
Yeah, well, the lolly. And And it's a really cute popcorn bucket. If Gator shows it, it's really cute. I like it. But goddamn, do these popcorn buckets sell out like crack? So I've seen several TikToks on it, and the way that people have been trying to get this popcorn bucket, and there she is it's literally just NECRO inside the box that her brother Tanjiro puts her in, right? And it's her saying hello. But they sell out so fast because whenever it opens around like 7 o'clock Japan time, people run to that line, and it sells out probably within about 5 minutes.
I could believe
every day. This NECRO box. That's $30, and it sells for like $150 to $200 on like eBay.
You gave me like the weirdest PTSD from Anime Expo, because when those doors opened, I saw people Naruto run.
Especially
to the girls'
Asians,
booth.
man. They
they fucking book it to get to the line, and I'm like, bruh, I just want to get my cute gun girl figures and then leave.
You should show her. You should show her turned around, like, 'cause she's like waving. It's a really cute popcorn bucket. I would think about getting it if it was there, but like, it sells out so fast, and I think most of it's people not even like wanting to collect it. I think it's most of the time people wanting to sell it, because overseas buyers will buy it. They will buy her. They will claim their popcorn NECRO bucket.
Yeah, look at, they got them on eBay right now. You can get one for like $100.
Yeah, see? Oh, it's so cute. It's so cute. But yeah, it sells out so fast. But that's just like an example.
Where does the popcorn go?
I think you open up the lid in the top and you put it in the back.
Okay, because I was like sitting there wondering. I'm like, if the doll's taking up like all this space, where do you put the popcorn? See, just fat guy things. Like, where the fuck does the popcorn go?
Hashtag just.
I was thinking the same thing, but then again, I am fat too. I don't know. Man.
Hashtag
just fat guy things.
Just, we need to have.
I ordered a popcorn bucket. You better have fucking popcorn in it.
We need to have like a Twitter dedicated, it's like a just girly things parody, just fat guy things, and like the profile pic will just be Nick Avocado crying. That
would be amazing.
But yeah,
ever so often we just slip like pictures of Quentin in there with no comment.
Can we show that Quentin photo I sent you? I think you got it pulled up somewhere.
I do. Yeah, I do. I think it's at the like very end of this.
It's literally like
here it is. It's a hotel bathroom selfie kind of day.
He just looks like the saddest guy. This is a photo of Quentin reviews on vacation, and he somehow still looks like the saddest motherfucker.
Oh, is this man like in a Super 8? That's a Super 8 kind of hotel.
I mean, I'm sure Quentin like cheapens out. I'm sure he makes like so much money off of YouTube. But he is a really successful YouTuber. And I don't even hate Quentin Reviews' content, actually, because I like Garfield. And I like the old, what's it called? Like, you know, the stop motion Christmas cartoons? I'm brain farting the name. But you guys know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, like
you mean Wallace and Gromit?
No, it's it's like that, but it's like the Here Comes Santa Claus.
Oh yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about, and Jack
the Franken Bass cartoons. Which, by the way, did you guys know that's actually considered an anime? The Rankin Bass cartoons.
Really?
Because it is. It's because the people that created the stop motion for the Rankin Bass were Japanese people, and that's why they have like kind of cutesy like 3 mouths. Like came from like the 70s. These are I'm
looking it up, and it's was done by several animation studios such as Toei, Aiken, Mushi Productions, and Topcraft. Wow,
they're anime.
They are in fact anime. Holy crap! I didn't know.
Yeah, it's one of those weird things that you wouldn't think about, but it makes sense if you look closely at like the way that they designed the characters. Is they got big shiny eyes, they got really cute faces, and they got like the 3 mouths. They don't look like kitten-like.
This has completely thrown my world upside down.
That just blow Gator's mind and the anime boomer podcast.
You just blew my mind.
Yeah, if you let me see if we can find like a good photo, like Rankin Bass. There we go. Animation. Let me find like a good character design to go off of. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Let me copy image.
Yeah, Payson's in that to me.
Where are you at? There you are. But if you look at this picture of Baby New Year, it literally looks like an anime character if you like break it down.
Yeah, it really does. Let me bring this up on the screen here, because I see exactly what you're talking about now. That is definitely anime-esque.
You got it pulled up? Oh, there it is. Alright, yeah, see, it's got like the big eyes, the small nose, and the little colon 3 eyes, or the colon 3 mouth, excuse me, the colon 3 mouth. Yeah. And he's got like the little like hair too, like the curly hair, because that's also reminds me of like 70s anime where they had kind of like the curly what's it called, like they had kind of like curly swooshy hair like in the front of their hair, like almost looks like cute boy style, you know, like if you know what I'm saying, like it kind of looks like that. If I can find like an example of what I'm talking about.
Well, I know exactly what you're talking about, because stuff like Cyborg, 009, they all had that kind of like floofy anime hairstyle.
Yeah, here, let me pull you up again. DM this
like
to you.
Harlock here.
Yeah. Or like something like this. But if you put these two characters like side by side, like the two ones I see, like you can see like the anime influence on there that they had. See? And you put up Baby New Year, like you can kind of see it, right? Like you can kind of see like the hair and the eyes and like the influence.
Yeah, I can definitely see like the comparisons between the two. I never knew that was done by Japanese studios. It makes a lot of sense now.
Mm-hmm. It's an anime.
Wow, we're learning things today, y'all.
Which shows that all of our culture as Americans, even our Christmas culture, is appropriated by other Asians just do it better.
Japanese.
I ain't seen a single AniTuber bring this up.
That's true. You heard it here first.
Because they're not interesting people.
They're too busy arguing over the race of, well, I think so character is actually black, even though they're white or Japanese.
You're gonna see JoJo fans in air quotes start rolling up when part 6 actually gets around here. Gucci, all these other like there's characters in all of the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure stuff that when you watch them you can say, yeah, that character's black. But when they get to Poochie, the main villain in part 6, they're already saying he's black. Boy, are they wrong. And wait until they find out about what's really in the show, because they may not like what they're about to see. Because they weren't. Well, to be fair, they weren't happy about part 2 when they had the Nazis in it. So I guess we'll just wait for that to happen.
JoJo's also considered normie now.
Yeah, it is now. I hate that.
Man's got fucking toaster for hair. Your hair looks like a toaster.
Yeah, I mean, just from his name alone, Enrico Pucci, you know he's Italian. Like that's no, point.
Guys, he's black. Get it? We got representation now. I say we, but it does not include me. I can give a fuck less about representation in anything, especially a Japanese cartoon not targeted towards me.
No, it's got to consider all of its demographic, even if it's over in the West. It's not like, the Japanese make anime specifically for the Japanese people and then think, well, maybe we can sell this to Western audiences.
Don't worry, I got too many rants, so that's why I'm like taking a backseat. I'm just hanging out.
Well, no, that's good. We love rants on here. I don't think there's been an episode so far that the guest hasn't gone into like an extended soliloquy about something or another, usually making fun of someone else. Like on the last episode, we had Mark After Dark going at Video Game Donkey and Matt Pat, and that was a masterpiece.
Well, and I saw Mark's video by like the one for Death Stranding, and it was spot on accurate. In fact, I think that was like the first video that I saw of his, and I said, "Oh man, I wonder if he's catching the exact same amount of shit that we were for when me and Spooky streamed it with Dimitri." And there were parts that I was like pointing out when it was like The Last of Us Part 2. And I said, but you can craft and set mine, or like they're mines, but you can set bomb trap things in the first game. But apparently he forgot that. And he said, well, now you can do these things in this second game. I was like, but you can do that in the first one though. But of course the Donkey fans roll in and then they go, Well,
how can you make a 3-minute video in a 30 minutes? Are you guys stupid? How can you have a conversation about a fucking video? Are you fucking
It's like the
retarded?
meme with all the stick figures that walk in and they're just like vomiting, pissing, and shitting everywhere. Those are the Donkey fans.
It really is. And it's weird because it's like the YouTube removing dislikes thing I think is funny because I want it to be a staple of we did this thing and it pissed off the fan base so much that they couldn't handle that you would dare talk ill of their god tier friend Donkey.
You can't take anything Donkey says seriously because he's a comedian. So even when he's serious, he's not being serious because he's a comedian. And you can't criticize anything like that's comedic, guys, because that makes you look stupid. You big fucking fart-eating retards. Take that.
Well, it's like it's just like the mother's basement thing that happened over the weekend? The last weekend? I don't remember when it was. It's in the back of my brain. Yeah, so like he goes on the thing responding to Super Eye Patch Wolf, and he makes this tweet that is supposed to be his version of a joke, which if you have to explain the joke, it's not funny. So Jeff Thu decided, I should respond to this halfway, trying to be clever and also halfway be serious. So he responds to Super Eye Patch Wolf with the serious part. Bro, dude, you just don't know, or you don't know the true depth of its characters and world building. Fully appreciating ReZero's majesty requires multiple rewatches, reading the light novels, the spin-off books, the Ichiban Kuji fairy tale, playing the games, buying at least 30 REM figures, and then he has 1 out of 283 because it's supposed to be a thread. Find where the joke is supposed to begin and end. But again, the whole thing is that I responded to this because it's been a while since I talked shit about an AniTuber, specifically and directly at them. So I quote tweeted him. And I pretty much go, AniTubers, get your story straight, impossible, or just like something like that. And he blows up. And he's like, oh no, I gotta quote tweet this dude. I want to make an example out of him. Because if it were on my old account, he would never have seen it because he has me blocked. But he picked the fight with NECRO XIII. And he's not stupid. He knows who I am. I think we confirmed that with people at Anime Expo when I went. And they were like, yeah, we know that. Like, we watch their videos, we know what the group is. And Jeff Thu decides this is the move that he pulls, and this is what made me the most angry. It wasn't that he quote tweeted me or punched down, but he says, since there are people who don't know what goofing with friends is like, I guess I gotta clarify. Yeah, clarify the joke. Yes, I still love ReZero. It literally helped me come to terms with my dad's death. I just recognized I'm not going to transmit that love to John by yelling it at him over Twitter. And that's the part that made me the most angry. And it made me so heated that Jeans had to call me up and he was just like, hey, calm down, bro. Because I've been on Twitter for 11 years, if you count me not getting suspended. But I was on Twitter for 11 years, and I don't think I've ever really seen someone use their dead father as an excuse to say that they love an anime, or use that in an internet argument. And, of course, the he-hims and the she-hers or whoever start rolling in, and they're like, he was just sharing a personal experience. I've never once said, man, I'm in such a bad mood. The only way to get over this person in my family's passing is by watching an anime that's about repeated death and pain and agony all over and over and over again. I cope differently, and I understand that, but it's also like you got to ReZero and saw death, and then you said, this is the thing that reminds me of my father.
How can I make this anime about me?
I haven't seen ReZero, but I mostly hear about it being like waifu bait. And so he watched an anime with waifu bait, and he was like, man.
Oh my god, Subaru is literally me.
I'm covered in imaginary girl pussy because my girlfriend who does porn doesn't want to have sex with me. Oh, oops.
And you know what? He could have brought that up, and I would have been like, all right, shit, he got me, guys. I submit. I'll delete the tweet. But instead, he came at me with my dead father. And I think I replied to that, and I was like, I, too, like to use my father's passing in an internet argument. Thank you. Very cool. And again, that made them even more angry. And again, the people didn't show up in my mentions because I just have it set differently. But I look back at that tweet and I still kind of laugh because the people were like, touch grass, go outside. And I think there was one tweet, I don't know where it's at in the entire
touching grass is overhyped and for fucking weirdos.
Yeah, I'm gonna go outside, bend over, and start fucking feeling up the grass because reason?
I don't know. I think touching grass is literally the most retarded terminally online. Like, even like the term terminally online, like used by fucking internet retards to make an argument. It's so stupid. It literally means nothing. You're gonna tell me some fucking rando who simps over Samus, who like makes their whole personality big over Samus, is telling me to touch grass?
Every
like,
tweet.
Motherfucker, you probably even ever been like in contact with a woman. Like, you probably can barely like these are the kind of people that can't even order a pizza over the phone without having an anxiety attack, and you're gonna tell somebody online to touch grass. The only way you even know that term to begin with is because you are terminally online. Like, you're not any better. Like when you go to the checkout towards Target, do you like have trouble looking at the cashier in the eyes? Because this is the kind of vibe you're giving me. Like, let alone fucking touch grass. Like, what the fuck are you going on about? It's so stupid. It means nothing.
Walks into the GameStop, spaghetti starts pouring out.
Yeah, it's like I swear, like, and it's weird because I know the type of people that they are because they're like my sister, where she gets anxiety talking to customer service over the phone or even taking something in to return it to like Walmart or something. And I'm like, how? Just go in there and just, if they get sassy, be sassy back. I don't know.
Like, there's no reason. Like, okay, if I've given like actual advice to people with like social anxiety disorder, because I used to suffer with it for like the longest time. The best way of getting over it, like taking the initial baby steps of getting over your anxiety, is actually looking at the cashiers and talking to people that work in the service industry, because one, they have to be nice to you no matter what you do. And secondly, if you don't look at them in the eyes, or if you like mess up or you say something retarded, they're not gonna care. Like, being on both ends, you're gonna think more about your interaction that they do because they have to interact with another person. That's probably even more annoying. As long as you're not an asshole, people that work the cashier or whatever are not going to care. Like, I'm sure there's mean girls that work at like the service industry, but they're few and far between when it comes to interacting with customers. As long as you're like not an asshole, they're probably not going to think anything of it. So if you just really want to get over your social anxiety, look at them in the eyes, because they're probably not going to care. Like, I don't know. Like, that's how I view it.
Oh, so the other thing, because I see Gator going through the thing, the part that really got me, like, almost to the point that I was like, this dude is actually stupid, is because he knows who NECRO XIII is. And I've made, I want to say maybe 2 videos and like a live stream about him once. And, well, no, 2 live streams, because it was the JoJo one and the anime piracy one. But
oh, his stupid JoJo watching order. Oh, God. Don't get me started.
So that one was fun. So he's like, you're going to make a video about it? Like, it's not going to be just about your one fucking tweet, idiot. It's going to be about your entire being as a human and how much of a failure you are. Like, I don't know. I might be not that rich, but I definitely don't want to be the socialist. I live in Canada and talk about American politics all the time.
The socialist,
amazing.
Capitalist. You mean the same motherfucker in the same breath almost would be like, I love reading the Communist Manifesto, but let me go on this fucking podcast with Digibro and a bunch of other like anti-tubers and talk about me making $100K a year.
Yeah, 6 figures.
Oh, Lord.
You are the fat cat, you fucking idiot.
I know, and he really wants to, and he's worried about little NECRO XIII making a video. I made one, by the way. It is made, but it's so short and simple that it just says like, I'm living rent free in your head. If you think that this interaction deserves a video, it's more of his entire beginning to end. why is he worried about it? I have no fucking idea. And then there's people like, oh my God, you need to seek therapy, get help, go outside, talk to people.
This is not the first time he's tried capitalizing off of his own like grievance. Like he literally made a whole fucking like, what was it, Better Health for like Yu-Gi-Oh cards or some shit?
Yeah, it's BetterHelp, and he did it was Yu-Gi-Oh! It's like how Yu-Gi-Oh! Helped me battle my depression. And yeah.
By literally sending motherfuckers to the Shadow Realm, which is just a nice way for kids saying, these motherfuckers dead.
Yeah, it was such a weird thing.
I too feel so much better when I literally send people to their deaths over children's card games. Yes.
No, bro, I got to play with my friends. I don't think Mother's Basement has friends, to be real with you. That's like not even me just like trying to dunk on him.
No, it's totally like they don't like him. This is all like rumors, but like how little he interacts with other YouTubers really like tells you, like, besides like Super Eye Patch Wolf, who's also like a huge libtard, and I think that's probably what they bond more over is their fucking political leanings.
Well, it's more because they're in a group together. They are the their peers is what they see themselves as. Anti-tubers see themselves as peers.
Well, it's cliquey, and that's kind of like, I guess it's just kind of YouTube in general. But like he doesn't get along with half of the other YouTubers that do anime because he's an asshole. Like he's obviously like super self-indulgent, and he huffs his own farts, and nobody wants to be around someone like that. Like, look, I get it. Sometimes you want to hang around like the big YouTubers or whatever, but no one should be that pretentious and that self-absorbed, because you're going to just detract other people from wanting to hang out with you. Like some of the nicest people I met are YouTubers. Some of the biggest assholes I met are YouTubers, and that shit gets out. People figure out who you really are behind the scenes. And Mother's Basement, I rarely hear people talk about how nice he is behind the scenes. Most of the time I hear people say he hides behind the curtains of like any convention he goes to. He doesn't hang out with other YouTubers, him and his bitch of a wife thing who does porn, OnlyFans, because they're just insufferable people.
Yeah, that was a fact. When I was at Anime Expo 2019, the one thing that I heard, and I can kind of halfway confirm this too, was that after like the first day of like everyone walking around, like after he got whatever it is he wanted, he was in the Premier Fan Lounge, which is like a $500 ticket, and he was there like the whole time.
I think it was paid for because he's like an exclusive guest or whatever, right?
Yeah, a lot of that stuff is it's paid for if you're an influencer or if you get like media something. So he was not around the unwashed masses. He sat in a room that had free Wi-Fi for just them, and also complimentary drinks. So no.
Yeah, I mean, no one word of mouth. No, he didn't. He got invited to parties, wanted nothing to do with it. Like it's just like he's like he comes off as extremely antisocial, but also like pretentious, and like he's like, hey guys, I too like anime, but like I'm telling you, people like this who like to virtue signal all the time to a certain demographic of people, stay the fuck away from me, because you're probably a sociopath.
Yeah.
And that's just who these people are.
One of the things I think is important. No, am I taking up like too much time? Am I like doing like a thing?
Nah, you're good.
Okay.
Nah, this is great.
Okay, so the thing I was going to say, it kind of piggybacks off of what Spooky's saying, is like you can tell who's a good person on YouTube and who just might be a shithead. And I will go ahead and say that I think, because people say I'm simping for Griffin Gaming, but he's a cool dude anyways. But Griffin does a lot for people besides like just like his fans or whatever. Like last Christmas, he gave away like a whole bunch of Steam keys for like Ghost Runner, which is like I think it's like a $20 or $30 game. But he had like a whole bunch of those. He gave away codes for Doom and like all this other stuff. Like he had all of this stuff done. One of the streams that I was moderating for was a DSP stream. It was one where we went to a guy we went to a guy that had gave DSP like a bunch of super chats, and they were like all in Mexican pesos, so it was like $150-$200. So we go to this guy's stream, and he's just like hanging out, and he was like, guys, you don't need to give me back money, this is all business. And like we were just spamming him with super chats, and he made that and more back. So it was like a heartwarming gamer moment to see. But again, like, I'm not saying that that's like the thing that you need to be on the lookout for. Like, oh man, he gives back. But Griffin is a lot like myself, where if we don't like someone, then they will know that we don't like them. I don't think that it was a mystery that I don't like AniTubers. What is definitely like, I wouldn't even say he's like a nemesis. He's just kind of sorry, I was gonna say the R word. He's just kind of
retarded. It's okay on YouTube, just not on Twitter.
Okay, so well, I say special person. He's a wheelchair symbol, where he wants to be I don't know, in the AniTube space, but he calls himself the AniTube boogeyman, which is what people were calling me at some point in time.
Well, what's like, he's just a clout chasing retard, and there's really not really good ways of putting it. Because the thing that's, hold on, my fire alarm's going off.
Oh, you're fine. Well, I know what you're going to say anyways, but he does a good clout chase. He knows how to try to game the algorithm, and if it doesn't work, then he's like, sorry guys, I don't want to chase the algorithm, like all that stuff. One of the worst videos that I think he's made that's still on his channel, because he usually privates the other ones and he very rarely deletes them, is The God of High School's opening is worse than you think. And he pretty much says, oh, well, I don't like dubstep, and I think it has to be executed properly for me to think anything highly of it. So I said, like every genre of music, because rap can be terrible unless it's executed properly. Like, it's such a nothing statement. But besides that, I remember him and a bunch of other people got really fucking mad at the Trash Taste podcast. Do you know what that is, Gator?
Yes, I do. We've actually been talking about it on the show once or twice.
Yeah, it's a thing where the big names in AniTube come together, and it's just the Anime Man, Giguk, and CDawg VA. And there was a statement that they all made, and the Anime Man wasn't really in it, but CDawg VA and Giguk were doing their thing. Yeah, but CDawg VA was like the one is like, I only see AniTuber videos every so often, but they make these videos for each other. And they always do the thing of like the deep meaning behind Haruhi Suzumiya, and then it's like an arrow pointing at something, and it's like a circle somewhere. And he was pretty much shitting on AniTubers, which pissed off the AniTubers, surprisingly. I know. And they made an entire 2-hour fictional podcast to yell about it, because they felt like they were being threatened for some reason. They were like, oh, sorry, guys. Bullied. Yeah, they're like, sorry, if you're not an AniTuber, you can't watch this, guys. Yeah, that's really the message he was sending, you fucking spurgs. It was more of
saying, don't take more meaning than what is actually there.
Like, yeah, CDawg VA was like, he was only saying, like, they make videos for each other where it's like, look, I overanalyzed Bleach. Don't you guys love this video? And they send it to their other AniTuber friends, and they say, yes, this was a good video about Bleach. I agree. Like, it's that. It's not like only AniTubers can watch their videos, but of course, they're socially inept and they don't understand social cues. That might be a sign that they have the burger, but...
I wonder if I can find the actual like clip. It might take a minute.
Yeah, it's about AniTube
if they really like cranes.
Yeah, they like, it's so weird, and that's kind of why I stopped covering AniTubers almost entirely, is because they're boring and they make the same points. It's always, this show is the most underrated thing ever. This is the best episode of insert here anime. One that really gets me is like, is just the overanalyzation of literally a show from like the 90s, and then it could be a comedy. It's just like the deep meaning behind Azumanga Daioh or something. That was like the 2000s. Don't quote me, but it's like something like that. And then you just get tired of seeing it over and over again. And maybe that's just a me thing, but I'm pretty sure no one cares about Madoka Magica that much that they need the 10th video in a row in their playlist to show that.
God, you know what this sounds like? Because we just did the episode with Mark After Dark like 2 weeks ago. This sounds a lot like the shit MatPat does, where he just like obsessively tries to overanalyze the dumbest of things, and it becomes this just like weird obsession of his to talk about and highlight this like one particular thing.
Well, it doesn't even sound like they're having fun with it, because they take it super seriously. No, these are the kind of fucking idiots that are philosophy undergrads.
Yeah, and there's
and they're philosophizing anime.
Well, they also have this collective circle jerk that they all like to do. It's called what is it? AnyTube Digest. Which, by the way, they don't me at AnyTube Digest. I don't know if you know what this is, Gator, but I think Spooky might. But AnyTube Digest is run by a smaller channel named Shabes, or Caribou Coon. And what he does is he rounds up AnyTuber videos, and then he kind of rates them in his own weird mindset of, oh, this is kind of a not so good video and it's pretty terrible, to this is an amazing video. And of course, a lot of it is really just like this weird clout chase, and he tries to be like weird and constructive criticism-y kind of ways. But there was one, and he brought me up, but he didn't bring up my video. And it was the one about The Guardian. The Guardian, they copyright struck my video. They didn't claim it, they struck it, which is the first strike I've ever gotten in my entire YouTube career.
I think I found the spot. It's like literally 1 hour and 7 minutes. And that's just like, it's literally Connor explaining exactly what Necro is explaining. Connor Sea Dog. And like Connor, you know, I know we're talking about our direct competitor, the Trash Taste podcast, you know, giving them some R clout, which, you know, they don't deserve.
Well, listen, they're kind of already on that weird level of,
not really
guys,
an anime
hentai
podcast.
Funny, right? Hentai's cool and quirky.
Well, they're not even really like an anime podcast anymore. They're more like three dudes living in Japan talking about their experience living in Japan. Like it's
not like the Anime Pussy podcast where they talk about anime.
You guys need to listen to. You need to talk about the Anime Safe Space podcast. or
so where's the timestamp on this?
1 hour and 7 minutes. Right there.
1 hour and 7 minutes.
I believe that's where it's at. If it's not, then we can cut this out. But I believe that's where it is. And I'll try
But like, you know, the thing about it is they just do it. They live in Japan, bros.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go. Here's this part of the video. Let me unmute it so you can play it through the speaker here. Oh, podcastception, everybody.
Oh,
don't strike my video.
Don't go to the Trash Taste. Just watch ours. Watching the Trash Taste.
Yeah.
But I never participated in anything, and I didn't make the videos that they would typically consider anime.
Yeah.
No other community does this, where they try and like rank who's the best in their mind with content, which I find really odd. Like, you never see the meme channels being like, here's the tier list of the best meme channels. You know what I mean? You
literally, the commentary community does that all the time.
As a joke. Grande. You know what I mean? No one gives a fuck. Everyone's just like, I like Grande. I like this. Right? It's like, no one does this weird thing, but for some reason in the anime community, they are obsessed with like ranking each other and seeing who has the best content.
Yeah, and I only just noticed it's only the AnyTube community.
No other community does this, and it's so weird.
Does the gaming community do this?
No,
I've never seen that.
No one does tier, and it's weird how like on the outside looking in, I was like,
community
wow,
tier
they really
lists.
just normalize this amongst themselves. They really just love stroking each other's egos, and it's weird because no other community really does this, where they like all they do is like compliment each other. They're like, damn, that was a good video. It's like that business meme, you know, where like
no other community does this.
Great videos.
They probably don't know about that.
It's weird. And it's
to be fair,
as someone who didn't do the type of content, the anime content that they considered,
you weren't like officially recognized.
So,
you know what I mean?
Okay, as somebody,
especially if you don't watch that much like YouTube
about the
content.
anime community, right? So I'll break it down real quick to you how the anime community works as an outsider, and you can tell me if my understanding is wrong.
Okay.
So I made anime content that was very entertainment based. I would take characters and do weird stuff with them, like prank call, right? The anime community has two types of videos that they consider anime content. If you see a tier list, likely anything else that is not this will be ranked lower, and that's reviews or analytical videos, right?
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is obviously reviews of shows. If you review shows,
or episodes
or manga, you know, whatever. And analytical videos where you do that shit that you did in English class, where you break down why the curtains are blue.
You basically write an essay.
Yeah, you write a 20-minute video and you know,
search for meaning in things that don't have meanings.
You know, in the appropriate way that he does, right? It's how Deku mastered his fisting technique. 20-minute video, red circles, right? Like, it's that type of content where they like, or like the logic of Haruhi Suzumiya. It'll have a title like that, right? It'll be
basically, you gotta talk about a specific show, or gotta talk about anime shows in general.
And it's a really strange obsession where amongst themselves, all these like small YouTubers, or like I'd say between 10 and 100K,
Yeah.
They are obsessed with doing these videos and who can do the best of these videos and ranking. And it's so odd looking from the outside in. It's just like, it's weird watching them fight over this. And it's like, what's happening? Like, this has gone beyond like criticizing each other's work to a point of like extremes, I think. Like it's gotten really
sucking each other off in the comments.
And they don't, it's a giant circle.
It's a circle jerk, right?
And they don't really recognize any other type of content. And I'm okay with that because I think what it comes down to most is that most people who make videos, I'd say most YouTubers make it to serve the audience or to make content for the audience. These YouTubers,
that's why
in
we're
the anime
here.
community, make content for each other. And to be appraised by
you can't
each
just
other.
say that
Content, like, you know, if Giga gives me the A+ on my video, it's that's all I ever wanted, right?
I passed this semester.
Exactly, because obviously I want to be validated by my peers. Who doesn't, right? But that's not the only thing I wanted when I was starting to make content.
No, for these YouTubers, it's the be all end all, right?
That's the sense. I could be wrong, and I'm sure a lot of them would disagree. But from the outside looking in, it seems like
I actually totally agree with you, and I don't think it's just the anime YouTube's scene. I've seen it specifically, or at least like the anime community, because I remember I had a very similar experience when I first started dipping my toes into the abridging community. Now this was all the way back in the day when abridging was like the shit. Everyone wanted to be like Team 4-star. Everyone was making their own abridged content. Everyone had like a lot of different.
This is just going about how he was an what was it called? A bridge series wannabe.
Yeah, but
card games on motorcycles.
But you know, that's like Connor said is 100% accurate. And the Anitubers got mad and made a fake 2-hour podcast to talk about it, and then they got ass blasted in the ratio and the whatever. It's great. I loved it. Every single second of their salt.
Yeah, he was unironically correct. You know, I was kind of giving him a little shit at the beginning, but no, he's absolutely right.
No, like I think Connor was super fair in his and he wasn't even being like mean about it. He was just saying, "Yeah, this is what I see and how people interact in the anime community, Any2 specifically." And he's like was pretty dead on, like how because again, it's like the important factoid of like they don't make videos for audiences. They make videos for each other, which is like super narcissistic. And
and when you go to something like the Anitube Digest, no matter which one it is, you'll see the Anitubers that he talks about, because again, he really kind of like softballs them or whatever. And then they'll show up in the comments and be like, "This is a great video. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Thanks for the feedback." Yeah,
there's YouTube channels dedicated to ranking other Anitubers videos. And it's so strange. Like it's fucking strange. Like you don't even see that in the commentary community of like I'm gonna rank Augie RFC versus Bo Blacks's topic of talking about Pokimane. Like who talked about Pokimane the most thoroughly and most educated? It's fucking
who analyzed
weird.
Her fart compilation the best.
Yeah.
Obviously, you can tell that her farts start to spike right here at the 3-second mark, like something like that. I don't know.
It's strange.
You could tell that she had beans for dinner because her fart was much louder in this stream.
You could see her jump up from her gaming chair just a little bit.
By the way, I never usually get brought up on the Anitube Digest. Like I said, The Guardian was like when they copyright struck my video. Like after that got cleared up because the guy was really fucking snarky with me in emails. I got it back, but when the Anitube Digest thing happened, and even the Neuralities video, which I'm sure many people have seen, when both of those things happened, he never wanted to show my video because, of course, he's already talking about the one, and also I don't make Anitube content like that anyways. But he was like, "Well, I feel like The Guardian had a lot of good things that they were trying to educate people on." I said, "No, they weren't. They were saying black anime fans literally catch the shit end of the stick, and they generally don't." And then they used one of my pictures in their video, which is why I got mad in the first place. And then the Neuralities thing is where you might know this. It was like the Dragon Maid thing, and then they said, "Well, liking lollies is the same as minstrel shows in the South." And I said, "Wow, I don't need to listen to anything else you're saying." Like, it's
the Neuralities thing was so funny because everybody found her liking pictures of Deku and Bakugo and shit.
And you know
like
what?
that.
And she has 100,000 subs. I'm like, again, and people were like, "Well, Necro, what's your ultimate goal on YouTube? To have fun. Neuralities is literally showing me that if I pander to the lowest common denominator and say top 10ish gender non-conforming characters, that I could get 100,000 views and maybe 100,000 subs.
Oops, problematic, actually.
You know, the people, by the way, the people that she says are gender non-conforming characters literally cross-dress once in a comedic scene. I'm not kidding. But the neuralities thing was really strange because it kind of showed that the anime community, the AniTube people, don't care about anime. They care about the perception around the anime community. Everything has to be a community with them. If it's not their way, then you're being problematic. And that's why people like What the What and Craftsdwarf, you remember Spooky, one of their streams was we live in a patriarchal society. And I said, it was like the weirdest, most out of body experience I think I've had on YouTube.
They're both like these two guys in particular. You know, we don't like the body shame over in the anime.
Oh, I will.
But they look like gremlins. Like they look like, and they're huge simps for Love Live. Like they're like the biggest Love Live autist out there. And they're like, one looks like Bert Krillin, one looks like a fucking like a slug creature. I don't know. They look like gremlins. Like it's pretty bad, actually. I don't know.
I love that tweet, by the way. Here's that attention you ordered, and it was all free. It cost me $0 to go on Twitter and catch his attention, by the way.
I didn't know Jeff had pronouns in his bio. That must have been a new thing. That's hilarious.
Again, when you're trying to
because he's such a fucking weird soy creature that we can't really determine his gender? Is this what he's trying to tell us?
I most certainly hope that's the case. But again, this is what the new AniTube community is, and why it's not fun to even remotely talk about them. Because it makes people think that I'm like, oh my god, these SJWs, but it's more of just like three special people that really want to be noticed for being stupid, and then they wave their hands around and they do a dance and they like, please notice me. That's what this is. Also, what a thing is. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. But another thing that Jeff used to do specifically was he used to make the most dumbass reach of a take on Twitter because he knew that would drive up controversy. And then he would release a video about a few days later about the whatever he was talking about. And he's done this. He did that so many times, and he was like clout chasing in particular. But now I think he almost has 1 million subs, if not 1 million. So I think it's good. He has 1.21 million.
Yeah, so he doesn't do that anymore. But before, when he didn't reach 1 million, he used to be like, Goblin Slayer is about rape, and it's bad, actually, because you can't show rape in an anime because it's bad. And they make a Goblin Slayer video like a few days after, but he doesn't do that anymore. And I feel like that's
by the
kind
way,
of difference.
I love that video that I did about Mother's Basement on that, because he's like, oh, well, he's inaccurate all the way down to the title. No. And I didn't even do a full video about his video either. I was like, you don't deserve it. When you stop acting like a special boy, then you can, get one, I guess. God, it's hurting me physically.
It's like the Vosh thing, right? Where he just goes out and he just says something completely stupid and then just immediately walks it back like a couple minutes later. But they always do that. Like they throw like these shitty bait posts out there to get attention, and then they get all of the attention that they want, and then they're like, oh, well, actually, whatever. And it's like, I see this happen all the fucking time. It's just like this left-wing Twitter thing. Where they go out there, say the most asinine shit that they know people are gonna like dunk on them for, and then immediately like walk it back or like try to reword it or relitigate it in a way to be like, well, actually, you're just too stupid to understand what I was talking about.
Yeah, it's like disgusting smugness.
It's the smug. That's exactly what I was trying to describe. It's just this like air of like, I'm so much better than you.
It's arrogant and it's disgusting, and it used to be a lot more prevalent. Now it's like they don't do that as much anymore. Maybe because it doesn't like get people to watch your videos.
The bullying is working. The more you fuck with them and laugh at them, the less likely they are to try to pull like the smug card, and they try to do this like unironic like ducking into the meme.
Well, like that's the thing. I don't even know if it's that, because like I was watching our competitor, the Trash Taste podcast. So, that those clout chasing retards, not us. But like The anime man in particular,
clout chasing autists. There's a difference.
Well, like the anime man in particular, he used to be another big bully target between me and like Necro. But he admitted, I don't think he's like a huge like leftist or anything, but he admitted that he used to rage bait and say dumbass takes to get people pissed off and get him to watch his videos. But he doesn't do that anymore because I don't think that gets you as much views on YouTube, like post like 2018, actually. So that's why they haven't been doing it as often. So I think what really is like huge and booming now in like the anime community is doing stuff that is based on like Mr. Beast, like buying like a bunch of stupid fucking products and trying them all out within 24 hours, or being a vlogger in Japan, or going to a boys' cafe as a cis straight male. Oh, whoa! And it's stuff like that I feel like they're more focusing on, because people just don't give a shit about anime reviews anymore.
They don't. And maybe they've gotten to the point, too, that I think most people have, is why do I need this weird guy on the internet's opinion about what I should or shouldn't watch? And it's weird to me because it's like you said, they've stopped doing almost everything that's anime related. And even when you look at someone like the Anime Man, like if you look at any of his videos recently, I think most of them are something very vlog-like, and they're very much not anime directly. It'll be like, I tried recreating the slime isekai anime and failed, all caps. I tried drinking every weird flavored soda in Japan. And occasionally you'll get something like, is Skelter Heaven the worst anime ever made? The scariest horror manga you've never read.
So it's not even really anime reviews. It's him just talking about weird niche shit. Like it's just like, but like his most like viewed video in the past like few months is him doing a ranking video with PewDiePie.
Yeah, anytime that you have another like other YouTubers that are obviously they have more character than he does, those are usually the ones that get the views. So like I asked massive YouTubers to try this impossible Japan quiz. That one got 2 million views. The ones before that was like, I met and confronted the creator of Redo of... First of all, he didn't confront him. He got his ass blown out. And also, like, I spent a day with a real ex-Yakuza member in Japan.
Well, I think the thing with, the Anime Man in particular, because he's a fucking coomer, I think he just wants to review hentai. But reviewing hentai is not profitable on YouTube, because obvious reasons. So all of his like top view stuff is like he tries to censor to like porn star and hentai and like weird cursive lettering, like people couldn't tell what the fuck he's talking about. And I feel like that's what he really wants to focus on, but it's not profitable.
Music career that's not really all that good either. Whoops, sorry I didn't say that out loud.
Oh, he's a terrible singer. Like he's awful.
What is it? Ikaru, his fucking weird Spotify artist. Oh, like, bro, I make good music. Please listen to me. I think he tried doing George Miller's thing where he's like, oh, I'm also Australian Japanese. I can also come up with a, musician persona and become a world famous pop star. That's where I got like the vibes from. But isn't he like a lo-fi rapper too? It was it's bad. Yeah, it's really bad. He does an awful lot. Gator, did you know about Giguk's wife?
Oh no,
we've talked about Giguk's wife on the podcast in the past.
She's a VTuber too. That people
I love talking about Giguk's wife. She is
a sociopath, literally.
She's a crazy bitch. She's like the craziest fucking bitch. I think she would cut. I think she literally cut Giguk's dick off. So I guess if he had to explain to people that are watching.
You know what, by the way? I'm going to put out a personal statement, by the way. I hate VTubers. There you go. Except for Crony.
You are a VTuber.
Kind of. In a very
just look at her
sense.
face. Let me pull this up. This is her.
Oh.
Yeah,
she's crazy.
Yeah,
you can just look at her fucking eyes.
Yeah,
look at
she's
her fucking
the
eyes, and you can see it.
She's the VTuber. Hime Hajime, who is on V Shoujo along with Project Melody and other e-thought girls, whoever you want to call them. That's where we are. I actually learned about something today that kind of made me I wasn't happy anyways learning about it, but Project Melody did a Chatterbait stream with K-san.
Who?
The old Koko Kuryu, the dragon one that graduated. So Kei-san made her own VTuber model, and she does regular stuff on YouTube, whatever it is she does. But she did a collab with Project Melody on Chatterbait, and it was the most Coomer shit I think I've ever seen. And I like, you know, it's again with VShojo or almost any VTuber now, if they want to be popular, it's always ooh woo hentai panties. You guys are being lewd.
Pee pee poo poo humor. We were talking
really
with Cody
is.
about this. It's very like Sarah Silverman fucking terrible potty humor.
Yeah, we moved from how big vaginas used to be to haha, aren't I such an e-girl, ooh woo? And I'm like,
oh
yeah,
my god, the anime girls are literally like me. I also do nothing but masturbate and cry. So
I too am a man of culture, as they add it to their favorites list. God,
like,
maybe I just hate anime. Maybe I just hate, I don't know, weeb shit entirely. I don't know.
To bring it back to Giga's wife, because that was a point of contention here.
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, she's a Coomer too.
She, like, her whole personality is being a Coomer, and this fucking psycho bitch admitted to God and everyone that she enjoys NTR, cuck porn, that she enjoys the thought of getting raped by people that are not her husband. And the more I hear about her, the more I'm just like, this bitch is psycho. And also, I got curious one day. I forget her name on Twitter, but I typed in her ad and wedding or, you know, marriage and stuff.
Sonic Citrus or something like that.
And she has so many tweets where she's just obsessed with getting married. Like, obsessed with getting married. Like, all she wants to do is just get married. And she's obsessed with getting married, fantasizes about cuck porn, but also is extremely mad jealous to the point where there was like a quote-unquote joke Giga did in one of his videos. I can't remember which one it was. But he makes a joke about him, like, watching porn or, like, watching about girls dating or whatever. And his wife is in the back looking at him menacingly, about to fucking cut his dick off. And apparently when she's not watching anime, whatever, all she does is watch horror movies. She watches horror movies all the time, all day, every day, according to Giguk. Another huge red flag. All she does
is Patrick Star just being like, wee woo, wee woo.
So, you know, like the red flag trend we've been seeing, like, this is like everything I hear every time he talks about they're not even like married, they're engaged. I mean, it's one of those like forever engagement kind of thing that's been going on. The more that he talks about his fiance, the more like red flags go up to me. Like, what kind of person would want to be engaged with somebody that is clearly jealous, is a psychopath, and admitted to the world that they fantasize about them getting raped in their home by a random fucking person coming in and not fucking you? Like, who would want to like put a fucking wedding ring on that? Who? I'm telling you.
AnyTubers, that's who. Thanks for playing.
And all she does is talk about masturbating and watching horror movies.
God, I don't want to look at her channel. It's literally like
it's her reviewing. You know, whenever you go on J-List, they're like, "Oh, this is a gag gift." It's really just sex toys. It's her reviewing sex toys that she probably can't even use half the time.
Yeah,
because you need a dick. She doesn't have a dick. Last time I checked, it's weird. And then
was she just like dancing around with like fucking pocket pussies and Ona holes and shit?
Yes.
Tiny mouse pads.
I mean, Giga was talking about this on the podcast where he was saying, "Oh, it's so prevalent. Whenever they move, they have to make double, triple sure, or else the movers will come in and people who come in to like help them pack will just see dildos and like titties everywhere, and it's all her stuff.
Like, this is like just in the top row of 6 videos. I went to a Japanese adult toy factory. I paid hentai artists to lewd me, ranking every cursed item I have ever bought. Let's talk about drugs.
So she's a druggie too.
Teaching anime fans how to have sex. And to top it all off, I showed my mom my most cursed hentai videos.
Oh Lord!
That was on the top row, by the way. That's not even including the next one, which was I went to.
And I'm saying that as a weeb.
Look, again, this is why I don't know. AnyTubers are fucking terrible.
That's a whole other breed of cooming that I'm pretty sure she's one of these people, like she's obsessed with getting married. Not because I don't think, because there's plenty of times I've talked to men who are divorced where like, they were like, yeah, my wife wanted to get married because that just was her goal. And then once she was married, she realized how unhappy she was with our actual relationship, and then she got divorced. I've heard that so many times, because women, like these women that are psychopath, narcissists, whatever you want to call it, they just want a day dedicated to themselves. Like they just wanted to be.
They grew up watching Disney, and they just became obsessed with like the pomp and the circumstance of marriage, and having their prince ride with them off into the sunset. Oh, look at this special day where all of my friends and family have gathered to worship me, and that's all they've wanted in their entire life, just to be worshipped by people. Yes, and I'm getting, I don't know about you guys, but I'm getting very like that kind of vibes, because Giga isn't a very good-looking guy. She's talked about masturbating to cuck porn. So I think as soon as she gets her day, or maybe when she gets pregnant, one of these big things are going to happen to her. She's going to realize, I don't actually like Giguk. He's not that good looking. I have his money now. I have his YouTube clout. I could just leave. And your man's going to get pro-Jareded. That's what's going to happen.
It's exactly. I mean, if you think about it, that's what happened to pro-Jared too, because he was also a huge coomer. And he's also married to a fucking psychopath who wanted to do nothing. Like, their marriage ended when she started being like, I want a polyamorous relationship. And that's going to happen to Giguk. She's going to be like, you know what, we could just have a polyamorous relationship where I fuck whoever I want, but you can't. And as soon as pro-Jared started having feelings for Holly Conrad, that's when it was like...
That was such a weird era, too.
And they're both coomers, too, because pro-Jared was a huge coomer, because he fucking showed his dick all over his Tumblr, and his wife was a whore who wanted to fuck whoever. It's literally...
See, where it fucked up was, because Jared had his whole thing going on with Holly, and that was fine with Heidi, as long as she had her, like, toy going on. But when that fell out, she came to Jared and was like, okay, well, we gotta end the polyamory thing. And Jared's like, why would I do that? I'm still getting it.
Well, like, they're obviously, like, whenever there's polyamory suggested by the woman, because it's always suggested by a woman 99% of the time.
She's already fucked the guy she's talking about.
She's already, like, trying to fuck other dudes while, like, being with you, right? Because she's, like, not satisfied with your sex life.
If she suggests the polyamory, she's already tasted the forbidden fruit, and now she's just trying to make sure that you're okay with it, so she can come out of the closet with it.
Well, it's because, like,
you've already been cucked. You have already been cucked.
She needs like some kind of like, because that's so your main hoe, which is your main dude, that's your money bags right there. You can't lose your money bags. You can't lose that financial security right there. And so, but that dick ain't shit. So she goes and finds some other dick, and then she's like, okay, I like this situation where I get to fuck some random guy who's probably a douchebag himself, but I get to have my money bag. So it's like you get to have your cake and eat it too, and that never works out. But as soon as pro-Jared started having feelings for another woman, who was freshly divorced herself, which you could argue, like, she had some influence, like, the divorce from Holly and Ross was because she was already, like, friends with Jared for years, I highly suspect. But we didn't know they were, like, together until that polyamorous relationship started happening. But as soon as Jared started getting feelings, and I'm telling you, he started sleeping with another woman and getting feelings with her, that's when Heidi lost her shit, because she thought she lost her money bag. And pro-Jared had money, because he was, like, making, like, a lot of YouTube views back before, like, the adpocalypse. So he was making bank, and he was also a Nickelodeon star, too. So that's the thing, is, like, you have people like Giguk's wife, who's a coomer, who's obsessed with cheating on him fictionally by masturbating to cuck porn, who's obsessed with getting married because she wants to be worshipped, who's obsessed with weird psychopath shit, like watching nothing but horror and porn, and sometimes anime. So all this is going to concoct together when she gets her day, when she gets her wedding day, and maybe she wants to get pregnant too. When all that happens, she's going to cheat on Giguk. It's not if, it's when. When is she going to cheat on Giga? I don't know, but it's going to happen as soon as she gets her wedding day or gets pregnant or both.
Have you thought about this, Spooky? That this is more romance than anything that's in DSP's actual real life relationship?
No, DSP does not come to my mind when I think of AniTubers, but
no, I'm just saying. Listen, if you think about it, Kat is literally getting blacked by Tyrone or Subaru guy, but DSP is just in a room with Kat and then with his other cat probably somewhere. But he spends how much? I think you might know the numbers, Gator, more than I do. Like he spent like easily $6,000 on WWE champions.
Isn't that just
easily.
He got it's just like a Western version of a gotcha.
Yeah, he got $13,000 in October, and it's all gone on a mobile game.
Yeah, actually, his some enterprising individuals apparently like leaked his financial information, and he spent a shitload of his income on WWE champions. Like, I don't have the exact numbers in front of me, but it was some hilarious number. Like, wow, really, bro? You are the whale.
Yeah. And he made a comment today, this is the thing I'm going to like end it with. But he was playing Guardians of the Galaxy today, and a clip that is, if you ever get it out of context, it sounds completely normal. He says, I spent all their money. I'd be pretty pissed. Like, they're going to be mad when they find out. And then he also said something like, because it was about the Gucci Xbox. That's what it was. He was like, who in the world would pay $10,000 to something that ugly? It's like, bro, look in your fucking chat.
Oh.
It was $8,000 on WWE champions.
Yeah, there you go.
And like a shitload of alcohol.
Total wine. Fucking Big O's Total Wine. They made all their fucking money. They just need Phil to show up. And it's not like he can't go anywhere. I don't know. But yeah, at least they have a better relationship than Giguk and Sid Snap, because at least she'll cut his dick off. Yeah, she's that or cut his dick off. I'll do the cheating one first. And then if he objects, then she'll cut his dick off. I'll go with that one.
Oh, Dimitri tweet here?
Oh, yes. Dimitri said, I guess I have the opposite opinion of most, but personally, I'm glad when generic McPopular YouTube men say they don't like stuff I'm into, because I'm less likely to see a shitty video on it or have their annoying ass fan bases swarm it in droves. I agree. Pretty sure
I feel like that's pretty much what happened with the fucking Mother's Basement stuff. It's just like they tweet about these anime. Cause see, like I'm the kind of guy, like, I like talking about anime that I'm watching on Twitter. Like, I love Komi Can't Communicate. It's great. It's cute. It's this nice little like slice of life anime about like people with all these different problems.
But did it help you cope with your father's death?
No, because my father's still alive. In fact, he called me like 3 times while we've been recording this. Because today's football day.
Oh yeah. That was like the most out-of-pocket statement he's ever made. I hate it. Oh, my father. But yeah, like you said, it's you watch show, you say, I'm watching show and I really enjoy it. That's it.
Well, and I'm not watching it to cope with the inadequacies of human existence. It's just like, no, this anime, I like this anime. It's kind of cute and it's entertaining and it's funny. And so I watch show. Like, The Vampire Dies in No Time. Like, that might not be some people's cup of tea, but I love it because it's funny and it's retarded. And it's retarded in a way that I like it.
Uh-huh. I mean, like, I don't know. Like, it was just... I watching an isekai anime to get over my father. I guess, I don't know. Who am I to judge when people get over their father stuff? But it was just weird that this, like, waifu bait isekai anime is what caused him to...
implode? I don't know. But Gator did have a good reply, though. ReZero's an anime about a guy that gets transported to another world and tries to bang the first girl he meets and dies repeatedly because of it. I fail to see how that's the same thing as, hey guys, my dad passed away. In fact, Subaru has a moment with both his parents. Yes.
Yeah, I got into it with this absolute fucking retard.
Oh yeah, every tweet.
Yeah, like every tweet I responded, and I was just like, I failed to see how Mother's Basement could even make this claim unless he's trying to say that he wanted to fuck his dad. Because then I could see where he would like oh my god, that's literally me to Subaru. But that's not what was going on. And this guy, like, continues. And eventually, I'm just like, the fact you can't tell the difference between an allegory for I'm becoming my own person and leaving the shadow of my parents behind, whom are healthy and happy, versus my dad is dead, tells me you didn't have a healthy childhood. And boy, that set him off. Good lord.
And then he admitted to it, too? Like, he was like...
Yeah, he pretty much admitted to it. He's just... And he's like, believe it or not, media is not an exact science, and the first part is absolutely congruent with the idea. Subaru is deeply affected by the fact that he will probably never see his family again. Fuck off.
That sentence alone tells me he watches a lot of Andy Tuber.
Oh, yeah, because he used the word congruent, first of all. That's a pretty big word for someone like him.
And then I told him, I said, you should return by death to the beginning of your angry posts and make better choices next time. And he's like, oh my god, he's literally telling me to kill myself. And I'm like, no. He's like, okay, so I'm telling you to kill myself over anime. Great. I said, no, I'm telling you to delete your account instead of being mad online on behalf of Mother's Basement.
Literally everyone was. Everyone
he literally replied to everybody. I didn't even at this dude. I didn't even reply directly to Necro's tweet. I think just Necro retweeted me, and this dude replied to literally everybody that was saying the opposite. Oh yeah, and also I posted an ER. I posted the picture of ER holding.
I love it.
Here it is.
God, that's such a relic in time. This is what actually got me blocked by Mother's Basement.
We gotta read the top of that. We gotta read this from top to bottom in case somebody is just listening.
Oh yeah.
Oh fuck.
A video I never made.
All right. So it's me saying on my tweet, looking forward to Necro's video making fun of Jeff, right? Because I just screen capped it. I was like, I'm looking forward to it. And then some fucking smug, person who doesn't watch. Well, it's a Bleach character, but it's somebody
it's Rukia. Yeah,
it's Rukia, but it's somebody who clearly has a shit waifu and doesn't actually watch that much anime. And it's someone who has probably not much of a personality. And it said, "Here's the preview," and it's literally Thomas from Tom and Jerry shoving a gun in his face. Because it's hilarious. It's just like Tom and Jerry about to kill himself. He's saying, this is a preview of Necro's video. And then I said, here's the actual preview. And it's the picture of ER holding Mother's Basement decapitated head.
It's such a funny picture because it set him off so bad that when I replied to him on my other account before it got yeeted into the sun, I was like, this is not an attempt on your fucking life, Jeff. Get over it. He blocked me.
We're just laughing at funny memes on the internet.
I know.
Oh, man.
Imagine having fun on the internet. Can't be me.
It's such a great photo because it's so intentionally edgy. It's made specifically to trigger people like this, to piss them off because they get easily offended. And then they were like, oh my god, this is like a death threat. How can you post this? This is the worst. And it's like, because it's funny. Because it doesn't fucking matter. Me posting a picture of ER holding up Mother's Basement's fucking corpse of a head doesn't fucking matter. It's so stupid. It's literally just made to piss people like this off who've never been in who don't have any real problem. If they get this offended over a fucking picture, this just tells me these people don't have any real issues in life. And they have enough time to be bothered by an edgy photo.
That's not even of them, by the way.
No, it's not even you holding up Mother's Basement's photo. It's literally ER. It's literally just was a person fan of ER. And it's perfect bait.
It works every time.
It literally works every time.
I'll just never understand people getting angry on the internet on someone else's behalf. I will always tell people, if somebody's talking shit about me, I don't care. I think it's funny. 99% of the time, it's really funny because that person's either just super ass blasted at something I've said, or
most of the time it's not even true, and they can't come up with a decent argument against what you have to say.
Yeah, exactly. It's just well, fuck him. I'm just okay, whatever. Who cares? That's literally all these people have to do is just ignore it or laugh at it. That's the secret to the success. Just ignore it.
That's how you have fun. Yeah.
Yeah, because things don't have to be this fucking serious. You don't have to be like, oh my god, they're sending death threats to Mother's basement. Oh my god. No, it's like, no, it's just a fucking shit post. That's what it is. Because ER has eviscerated Jeff in the past for having shit taste and being a retard. That's what it's meant to symbolize. People are having some fun on the internet at his expense. You don't have to play fucking Internet Defense Force for Jeff. He has a big channel. I think he'll be fine.
Jeff probably doesn't even fucking care that the fact that Necro is just like making this video. He was just like trying to ratio Necro to make himself feel better, to, I guess, to like pass boredom. Like, I don't think the multimillionaire Jeff Thu, who, you know, is a socialist, by the way, fucking cares about somebody like Necro making a video on him. In fact, he probably gets excited over it because he's so narcissistic. Like, this Necro making his video on Jeff Thu will not affect his bank account.
Of course not. Not even in the slightest.
People need to realize your favorite fucking internet person, them getting shit on the internet, it's probably better for them in the long run because it gives them more clout. And that's it. Like, that's the true black pill of all this. Like, there's a reason why influencers always act problematic. It's because it gets some clout. It gets some talking. Look at fucking
Bad Bunny. Look at Bad Bunny on Twitch releasing like that socialism thing the other day. It's all about like the attention that they get from negativity. Because you get way more attention from saying retarded shit. I mean, I was talking about the bread tube thing earlier, where they'll go out and say something completely retarded and then like walk it back. But they get all of this attention on that initial post and they channel it into views on their channels and views on their videos and then a boost to them in the algorithm. That's all Bad Bunny was doing, was she was saying something completely retarded to get people. It was a bait post.
It's not only that, but it's also like these people try and defend Senpai's honor of like their favorite fucking YouTuber. The most you are doing is not defending him, is you guys are giving us some time to kill boredom by making fun of you guys. You guys are just giving us something to fucking laugh at. And that's the true meaning of all this. You guys trying to defend Senpai's honor of like this huge like big fucking YouTuber, it doesn't make a difference between interacting with like smaller accounts like ours. Because the most we're doing is doing what we're doing right now. It's making fun of you and laughing at it.
And retweeting anime booba.
You guys are killing boredom. Like, I mostly just browse Twitter to kill boredom at work. And that's what you're doing, is you're killing boredom. And you're not helping or, you know, de-escalating the situation at all. You guys trying to like defend Senpai's honor. Because Senpai doesn't care about you. Senpai doesn't care about some Samus simp. He doesn't care about me posting ER holding up his dead corpse. Senpai doesn't care at all. Senpai cares about that money. He cares about that view. And us talking about him, he probably likes that right now. And that's the only thing that fucking matters to these people. That's why he like says dumbass things like he loves communism and socialism, even though he's purely a fat cat capitalist. Like, these people are full of shit. And you guys are doing literally anything just by
They're falling into the trap. They're falling into the trap for literally everyone.
It's
because guys like Mother's Basement. Yeah, that's all it is. That's all it is. It's all bait. The hooks are out there and you're falling onto every single one of them. You know, a wise philosopher once said, just don't. Just don't.
You know, don't.
When you see somebody making fun of your favorite YouTuber, just don't. Just don't.
Or if you do,
it doesn't matter.
If you do want to give it attention, at least have fun with it and like, you know, make a joke out of it. Like, make a joke out of these people, like bully them. That's fine too. But like, you guys getting like actually like genuinely offended, getting upset makes you look like a pussy. Like, it makes it look like a pussy that you can't handle any kind of confrontation. And it gives us something to laugh at. So next time, if you guys are listening to this and you guys get seriously mad on the internet, just think you're giving someone a chance to laugh at you.
Yeah, you're rolling those dice, and you never know when you're coming up snake eyes. It's going to be your turn to get
shit on. Yeah,
bro. Like, what is cyberbullying? Just turn off your screen, bro.
Just, like, walk away, go outside, read a book.
I think that's the best way of looking at it. If you guys get seriously offended and seriously mad, and you let that part of you show on the internet, just imagine somebody laughing at you to your face. And then you'll stop. You'll stop very fast of like, I can't engage. I can't
Speaking of people being mad on the internet.
Oh yeah, that's. Oh no, was it the original tweet deleted? Oh no.
So let me set this up for people that are listening on the podcast. So a couple of days ago, Representative Paul Gosar posted it was a shitpost, an Attack on Titan shitpost video where someone had edited like Gosar as one of the heroes. I think he was I can't remember which character, because they like switched him around a lot. But he was like Eren in some scenes and some of the other characters in the others. But AOC was like one of the Titans, and there was like members of the squad as the different Titans. And it was a shit post, right? It was just a funny little shit post. People have done stuff like this all the time, where they just edit like different people and characters' heads over the main cast and on the Titans and shit. And it was completely harmless fun. Well, Twitter didn't see it that way. And just like these idiots that were like trying to say that Spooky's like ER shit post was a death threat, they were trying to say that Representative Gosar was making a death threat to AOC and the squad and all these people with his fucking Attack on Titan shit post. It got so bad that Twitter actually like shut down the tweet and made it so that you couldn't reply to it, you couldn't retweet it, you couldn't like it, you couldn't do anything. And it had this like really stupid and cringe notification that it was like, this tweet violated Twitter's rules on personal harassment and targeted harassment. But in the interest of public whatever, we're keeping this tweet up. And it was so fucking cringe. And everybody was like super mad about it. Like, oh, I can't believe a sitting congressman is issuing threats against another representative. And it's like, it wasn't a fucking threat. It was a meme. It was a shit post. And these people get so personally offended. And the best part, the absolute best part, was the weebs, like these anti-tuber motherfuckers, getting into the comments and trying to argue about the real meaning of Attack on Titan.
Oh, this is when we decide to gatekeep? Okay.
Something socialist, something fascism, or I don't know. You could really just put it into a hat.
How can a fascist Nazi retweet a thing that's anti-fascist and Nazism?
Have you learned your lesson? Where's that
I'm sure you can just put it in any part of just whatever they're gonna say. It's a hat. You could just pick from a hat. What's the thing that they're gonna come up with? Fascism.
You're tweeting about Attack on Titan, but don't you know Attack on Titan is anti-fascist?
Don't you know I'm the Lightbringer? Here to talk about fascism.
Oh, you know what? It reminds me, speaking of Attack on Titan, you know there's a video, Spooky, by Pedantic Romantic that is the subtle sexuality of Attack on Titan.
Of course that Coomer looks at Attack on Titan and thinks, oh, I can masturbate to that. See, this is what these like weird like and that's another thing that's like really like it's so prevalent, and we've talked about this multiple times in like the podcast about the huge degeneracy like in the anime community. And like you have these figureheads that are just like they openly talk about like looking at a thing and just like, how can I masturbate to this? And I feel like that's another example of like, how can I look at Attack on Titan, these weird like mutant baby looking creatures that are giants, and be like, okay, I can jerk off to that. What was their point of contention?
In the Pedantic video? I have no idea. It was something about like how the characters look and how they're drawn that makes them like supposed to be sexually attractive or something like that. I have no idea. With
their like literally non-genitalia or anything? Like
I really tried to like memory hole a lot of that video.
They deleted their channel too.
No, it's up there.
Is it still up?
Yeah.
I thought they deleted their whole channel.
You know, I kind of wish it weren't here, but just kidding. I think that anti-tubers should keep their channels up so I got something to laugh at.
I don't want to type in Pedantic Romantic into YouTube.
Oh, don't do
want
that.
YouTube to think I'm gay.
It might just turn you gay.
But no, this is like the fucking thing, man. It's just, and I think that's been kind of like the overarching theme of this episode. It's just like these fucking anti-tubers. Just they try to take meaning out of things that don't have meaning, or they're just like fun and entertaining stuff, and they're just like, let me tell you why Haruhi Suzumiya is actually about the collapse of Western society. And it's like, no.
Not that serious, bro.
Yeah, it's not. It's really not.
Again, a lot of them haven't seen anything before the year 2016. So when you bring up something like, I don't know, what's an old show that people halfway watched? You can bring up Martian Successor Nadesco. They don't know what that is. I bet you they don't.
They probably don't.
I barely remember that. That's a show I tried to memory hold.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one I haven't seen that show in a long time. Or like Van Dread. There's one.
Oh my god, yo, Van Dread was lit. Okay.
Yeah. Like, they haven't seen a lot of these shows. What's another one? El Hazard.
Oh,
Bring
man.
up El Hazard.
By the way, I watched that recently, but it's also because it was inspired by the Sega Saturn game that came out in Japan.
Right.
God, good times.
Like, ask one of them to like what's the plot, what's the story, what's the meaning of that, and they have no idea because they've never watched it, so they'll just like Google something and like look it up and be like, oh, it's actually about it's an isekai ? Like,
Man, they don't even know about El Hazard, bro. I'm kind of happy that you brought that up.
Oh yeah. Yeah, luckily for me, I had some really good friends that were able to get me the good shit. The real
Friends.
good shit.
That's something any tubers will never have. Feels bad,
Right.
man. I mean, yeah, you know what, Spooky? I told you this once because it was referring to what is that? The people that he calls friends, they tolerate him at best.
Yeah,
they probably wouldn't associate with him otherwise. They'd probably just be like, "Dude, you're weird."
he
But
has
again,
like the most autistic cult I think I've ever seen. Like, as soon as you give a sleight of hand, he like blocks you and he's like, "You're dumb. Not being friends with me." It's weird.
He was weird about the what was that show? Ishizoku Reviewers. He was
Oh
really
my god,
weird
yes.
about
Yes.
He
got mad at Nux Taku. Like, if you guys don't know, if you're listening to this, Nux Taku, like, one of the things that blew him up was him encouraging all of his fans to give Ichidoku Reviewers, which is essentially like, it's ecchi anime, it's boner material.
It's porn. You might as well say it's porn.
It's borderline basically porn, but like he was like, hey, people are getting mad at this anime for being misogynistic, and if you looked at Ichidoku Reviewers as misogynistic, whatever, then you're stupid. That's like saying every porn is misogynistic, which I guess maybe it is to an extent, but it's like it is what it is. Like, you can't argue with something being bad if you know exactly what you're getting into. If you're watching porn, then it's gonna be like degrading for women because that's just the subject of the nature. Like, it is what it is, and it's a fucking cartoon on top of it. It literally
also a lot of women like the degrading nature of it.
Well, like, it's made by a woman. The manga originally is made by a fucking woman, and that's another thing. It's literally the stupidest fucking argument. But it's also what happened was because these fucking Tumblrinas were getting mad at it because we can't have any kind of sexual, like,
Women empowerment.
we can have porn. We can have so much fucking porn in the anime community, but as soon as there's an anime about fucking pornography originally made by a woman, then that's the issue. It's so stupid. But anyway, it is what it is. It's schlock. It's just pure fucking schlock. So what Nashitaku did was like, okay, because people are getting so triggered over this, I'm going to encourage all my fans to give this 10 out of 10 reviews, right? On my anime list. Literally an anime-centric website about rating your favorite anime that doesn't matter, that's been around since like 2005, and it hasn't like updated since then. It does not matter. It's just people like anime fans being like, okay, this is where I catalog my anime. It has no meaning besides that. And nobody cared except for What the What. What the What made a whole ass video. And the whole point, I forget even what the original theme of the movie.
Oh god, I remember. I'm getting flashbacks now.
What was the original? It wasn't about Ichijoku Rivera specifically. It was about something. It was about like fanboys being like man babies or something. Was that the same one, or was that a different one?
Yeah, that's a different one. That's about Sonic, Pokemon, and the stupidity of fan outrage video.
But there was it didn't have to do with Ishizoku reviewers. Wait, maybe it did. Maybe it was his reviews or something.
It had to do with Ishizoku reviewers, but what it really got down to was, why would you not use your powers for good instead of some meme where people that got death threats for saying that China is bad and Taiwan's a country or something like that.
Yeah, this was during the Taiwanese protest.
Yeah, and so he says, if you like Ishizoku reviewers and you went to go with this meme, then that means that you don't care about the lives of the Hong Kong protesters. That was it. I remember now. God bless. That was an enigma.
He wanted Nuxtaku to not make a shit post to internet and actually do something good for the protesters.
I feel like Gator's shaking his head behind this computer.
He's not saying anything.
I'm just remembering. I'm just remembering that I'll never forgive the Chinese for taking away Kiryu Koko.
Yeah,
I'll never forgive the Chinese. fucking Joseph Joestar's shaking his fist
for her acknowledging Taiwan as its own country.
Existence.
Yeah, it's but I mean that's the thing. It's because Nuxtaku made a shit post about Ishizoku reviewers being number 1 in the iAnime list. What took that as serious and was like, why don't you consider the protest? Mind-blowingly stupid.
Well, it's because they can't actually take any real stands on anything. That's pretty much why.
No, he's not even political at all. It was weird. It was what the whole thing was. I think it was just pure pettiness because what doesn't like Nuxtaku's content, and so Nuxtaku is and I think he still is like the number 1 anime YouTuber, even though he doesn't really talk about anime specifically. He just does like VTuber garbage. But because Nuxtaku is top dog, he has some moral fig about what Nuxtaku does because he doesn't like Nux's content.
Yeah.
If he liked Nux's content, then he wouldn't even say anything. But because he doesn't, that's what he has a problem with. It's purely narcissism. Like it's really like nothing but what doesn't like somebody. And he's top dog, so he has to like be like, well, this is why it's a problem for me.
So he has to release a diss track against Nuxtaku, basically.
Not even that.
But he had to like cover up and say, guys, it's just a joke. Please don't send threats or harassment to him. That was his part in his video. Like, I'm not even like exaggerating.
Who the fuck's gonna watch what and send like a death threat to Nuxtaku? And why the fuck would he even care? It's so stupid.
Yeah, I just...
Nuxtaku's too busy being a chubby Israeli man. Okay. Did you guys know that? Nuxtaku he's a short, fat Israeli dude. Well, he's like Jewish. I don't know if he's full on Israeli, but he's Jewish. He was on Anthony Padilla's like channel, getting interviewed or whatever. Like I spend a day with whoever, and he spent the day with Nuxtaku, and you can see like he's a little chubby Jewish guy. It's like that makes sense. He sounds like it.
Oh yes, anyway. I spent a day showing Anthony Padilla my cursed guide to something or another.
Well, he like does like it was weird because he's like Nux doesn't show his face, right? And so, but Court Hubson doesn't also show his face, but he did an IRL interview with Anthony Padilla. So I guess he was like, oh, I can get that Court Hubson clap if I just do an IRL meetup with him. But he doesn't show his face, but you can see like his lower half, and you can see he's like a short, fat Jewish guy.
Oh yeah, here it is.
Yeah.
Let me bring this up on the screen so everybody can see it. Yeah, he put his like VTuber avatar over the top of the head, but you can just kind of see him in like the suit or whatever.
I don't get it. So did he have to like re-record his lines again so like he could send Padilla or Anthony his VTuber model? Or did he somehow like manage to sync up his VTuber model like with like an overlay of his face recording it and then send it over to him? It's weird. I don't know how he did it, but you can see he's a little chubby Jewish guy. Look at his little baby
wearing
hands.
Slippers.
Wearing slippers. Well, apparently that's just part of his rig is he wears slippers, but like, but look at him like sized up against like Anthony.
That's a big boy.
Little heckin' chonker.
Big chungus over here.
Nux chungus.
No, now I just want to see somebody Photoshop his avatar's head on top of Big Chungus and just like reply, just send that. Don't even comment like anything. Just send just the picture of Nuxtaku Big Chungus just in his replies and just see what he said.
I want to see Nuxtaku sit next to Dream. Who's the more the hecking chunker?
Put Dream, Nux Taku, and who's the guy with like the super deep voice that turned out to look like
your dislikes are gone. Oh no, is it taking root finally? The dislike thing happening?
Oh, I see. The dislikes are gone.
Oh yeah, the dislike is gone. Look at that.
Oh wow,
man.
it's starting to spread.
Oh god.
Oh no.
I know, it's scary.
I'm just gonna dislike this video just because fuck YouTube.
Out of spite.
Out of spite for YouTube. Fuck you, YouTube. That's what people should start doing now. Just don't even use the likes anymore. Just dislike every video, even the videos you like.
It doesn't matter.
Just break YouTube's entire fucking system.
I liked it whenever they announced it with the video. It got like mass disliked, and then they hid the dislikes almost like a day after they announced it. It was pretty great. Yeah, it's anything else we need to discuss? We're like almost 2.5 hours into this. Almost.
Yeah, the only thing I have really left is the Jimmy NFTs. Fallon has officially killed all NFTs.
I'm glad. I hate Jimmy Fallon.
I don't know if you saw Necro, but we had Cody on, and he had like a whole tirade of him like talking about. I think that's something worth clipping. Is him talking about like furries and NFTs. And as soon as like the Lindsay Lohan NFT came out, all these furry NFTs, like the apes and the lions, immediately came out. And now we got fucking Jimmy Fallon shilling out his NFT.
I hate Jimmy Fallon.
I think everybody hates Jimmy Fallon.
I'm telling you,
like a normie.
These NFTs, these like monkey and lion NFTs, all this shit is money laundering. It is deep state money laundering. The mix of the like federal bureaucracy and enforcement agencies, all that stuff. Yeah, there's a bunch of fucking furry degenerates that are in the government. And I think I really am starting to wonder now if this NFT stuff isn't just them doing money laundering and political payoffs.
Well, like if you, I think there was a tweet. I don't know where to find it. Where I saw somebody actually who was one of the runners of like talking about NFT, like one of the like Twitter people. He was saying, "Oh, this NFT is worth like $1 million," and then he followed like the crypto wallet, and then it immediately disappeared, and so that actual value of the NFT went to zero. So it was like $1 million, and then it went to zero. I don't know exactly how that works. But it was like suspiciously like this money was in this blockchain, and then all of a sudden the value of it went to zero. Or there's also like Logan Paul recently, he spent like what $300,000 on this fucking JPEG, this PNG of like Bumblebee or something, and then it was only worth $4,000. It's literally a get rich quick scheme, is what it is. Yep.
That's why the only NFT I will ever support is Stone Toss, because it is the only set of NFTs that will make the libs mad on Twitter and Reddit.
It was funny. Like I mean, I don't know if independent artists want to like make their own NFTs. I'm actually way less bothered by that than like this right here.
The board
Jimmy Fallon's, Lindsay Lohan's, that, and Logan Paul's. That's where I go. That's fucking suspicious right there. That's weird.
Yeah, there's some weird shit going on behind that.
Look, we all know NFTs like this really ugly ape. It's just trying to pose as adoptables, okay? Because the fur figs have been doing adoptables for years, man. There's this video by
remember
Izzy.
Neopets?
No, it's Neopets, and there's also like they'll draw so like if you guys don't know what adoptables are like these OCs. They all kind of look similar, but they have different patterns, right? So they have like the general shape of whatever artist is trying to make, but they'll have like different patterns, and they look a little bit different. Like they'll name one like muffin cakes and lollipop, whatever. And like, look, you can own muffin cakes. And so they'll be like, okay, muffin cakes is $200 to adopt. And you may be thinking, that's the most retarded shit I think I've ever heard. Like paying $200 for someone else's OC so you can use. But it's literally Twitter. And then like, but these furries were using these as like NFTs are right now. These adoptables had money attached to them. And there's a video made by Izzy, and I think she said there was like, yeah, it's literally that. It's literally
there's a fucking
that.
Twitter account.
It literally looks like it, does it not? Like the NFTs, like it's like you can adopt this original character.
And they just have different like they're wearing different
Eccles,
kinds of
pomegranate, like I said.
Yeah. different fur patterns. Yeah, it's literally the same thing as the NFTs.
And Izzy, who's a YouTuber, did like a video on, I believe she said it's like the world's most expensive like adoptable, and it was like worth like $16,000. Like it was like insane. So these furries will literally spend money on fucking dumbass JPEGs of like not even their own customizable character. Because I understand like investing in art, because like we've done that. We've invested in art for someone to draw for us, and we reuse it for our own commercial purposes. But this is just so you can have like a PNG of like a literally copy and paste character with slightly different colors. It makes no fucking sense because can't even use it for commercial purposes. You can just be like, I just own this copy and paste piece of media. It's not like you own physical copies of it. It's just like copy and paste. And I get it. Like I was saying, like it's literally just about the blockchain. It's literally just like the folder attached to the actual image. But it's so huge nowadays. And people get mad over like artists be like, oh, you're contributing to like the environment. And it's like, fuck you. You just using anything is contributing to like bad for the environment. Shut the fuck up. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. But when you have like big people like this, like Jimmy Fallon, it's not just like spending like $20 here, $200 here. It's like it's millions of dollars being spent all in one go. The government has no involvement with it, so you can't trace it going to who knows, God knows where. And that's where the weird part of it goes. Yeah,
it's money laundering. It's clear as day.
And again, if independent artists want to like make a few cash like over here and there, I really don't care if they do it. It's just like it gets weird whenever like celebrities or multi-millions of dollars involved with a fucking JPEG. That's where it gets weird.
I start to get suspicious because it just seems like Scientology. Like my whole suspicions of Scientology. It's like, oh man, all these really famous celebrities are getting in on it. There must be like some sort of like multi-level marketing scheme going on. And guess what? There was.
Yeah, there is. Like you have to pay to get enter, and you have to pay thousands of dollars in order to advance, to level up, I guess you want to say, into this like cult. And there's a lot of like the cult's well connected, like to, you know, political and like celebrity types. And I mean, that's what it is. Like there is something weird going on with these NFTs that we probably won't know about until like 20 years from now. Because if you guys don't think there's some kind of investigation going on by the FBI or someone like that, or I guarantee you there's an investigation going on with
or
this.
They're in on it. I mean,
or they're in on
option.
it. This is all maybe just is just a giant psyop too, like because it just like it feels wrong. It literally no one looks at an NFT and like looks at the shitty monkey drawing and be like, okay, that makes sense why that's worth like several $100,000. It feels wrong, and if something feels wrong, then it probably is. If everyone collectively is saying this feels wrong across the world, then there's something weird going on right here.
Yeah, and I look at what's going on. And I just feel like I'm channeling Alex Jones, and I just want to talk about the evil globalist conspiracy. They're getting together at the Bilderbergers, and they're worshiping the NFTs at the altar of Moloch. You know, I could feel it, the channeling, the power.
I mean, if you guys watch CoffeeZilla's and Mudahara's like little mini series they had talk about influencers that are involved with it, it's pretty dark, and it's so intertwined with all these people that are already like they already own businesses about making quick money. They already got involved with the blockchain and all these like crypto shits, these little shit coins, and now they moved on to NFTs. And that's just like influencers living in fucking LA, like taking selfies on Instagram. Now you have Jimmy Fallon. Now you got Lindsay Lohan. And
Jimmy Fallon's the worst though, single-handedly. Like he's the one that can make everything as unpopular as all hell. And I think it'll die here a little bit.
But not until Stone Toss gets his.
And again, I don't have a problem with like independent artists getting it. It's just like
these weird celebrities and shit.
There's a lot of shit going on behind the scenes that we probably have no idea what's going on. That's probably intertwined. Because again, like if CoffeeZilla and Mudahar were able to figure out the blockchain between like these little like influencers that no one really cares about that happen to have like 100,000 subscribers. How much deeper is it with like actual celebrities, people from politics, you know, that are getting involved? Because, or you know, maybe there's world leaders in China getting involved too. Like it's somehow always goes back to China. Like there is a political involvement with these NFTs that we probably won't know about until like, you know, 20, 40 years from now, the full extent of it, because it feels wrong. It feels not right. And I think Cody was on to something about suspiciously wealthy furries too, because he's all weird furry OCs. Because again, like I was saying, furries were doing this adoptable shit way before NFTs were a thing, way before it. But because they were using tangible money, like you can find and you can trace, no one said anything. But now you're using crypto, and now people are like weirded out by it. And it's not just like $200 there, $1,000 there. It's millions of dollars being transferred back and forth on the daily through crypto, through NFTs.
Being dumped into these tumble wallets that the whole point is to make it so that you can't trace it.
Yeah.
Like it's fucking bizarre. There has to be some like wacky money laundering, some like criminal shit going on there, because it's like it's a picture of a fucking monkey. Why is it like $1 million? Why are you using Bitcoin tumbling wallets to like hide where the transactions are going? Like, what the fuck is going on? I just feel my like inner investigative reporter coming out. I'm just like,
it makes your little like
real story.
Your little satellite in the bottom of your head go beep 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 beep.
Right? My sus meter is off the charts right now. I gotta hit the button. Amogus.
All right. Do we have anything else we have to say?
I think we pretty much exhausted all of the topics. We talked about Mother's Basement, talked about NFTs, we talked about people being mad on the internet eternally. It's been a fun episode. I want to thank NECRO XIII.
Just listen, I'm just trying to have fun on the internet.
I mean, that's pretty much why we do the podcast. We like to pick a night, kick back, laugh at retards on the internet, laugh at goofy internet shit, and talk about anime and weeb shit. Like,
wow.
And the good old days.
Being ableist, can't wait to put this in my Google Doc for spooky, probably.
For the spooky hit piece that's coming out, you know.
That's right.
No, I would love it. I'll watch it. I'll bring my boys over. We'll have some brewskis, and we'll point and laugh.
Why don't you make the video? You're making a video right now, so you better finish editing that, you little forehead.
5 minutes into this 2-hour-long video. It is. It's harder than it looks. Okay, I was like, oh my god, this is awful.
You know what? I have like one last thing. It's a small story. Anti-tubers got really mad that I said that what they do is easy, because all they do is take clips from anime and put it in the video, and then they just talk over it. They got really mad at that. Well, Necro, how good is your editing? I said, bro, I know that my shit is easy to make. I just slap PNGs on the fucking timeline. There's no shame. It was just, they got mad at that for some reason.
I mean, that's how you do it, really. The best shit posts are the simplest shit posts. All right, well, this has been a fun episode. Glad to have you, NECRO XIII. Go ahead and shill your stuff.
I'm mostly on YouTube. Also on Twitter for God knows how long. And if you watch me on YouTube, then every week, this is a new thing that I started doing recently, is I have what I call free talk, where I do just sitting and chatting, just chatting stream essentially, but it's where I drink most of the time anyways. And by the way, if you're looking for me on Twitter, it's NECRO XIII, but it's with L's instead of I's. There's 3 L's because those are the only 3 L's I took were on twitter.com. So we replaced the I's with L's. Also, that one is banned. So
I noticed that. I was like trying to find the account to follow, and I was like, oh, wait a minute. And then I figured it out.
I had to be lucrative with it. I had to use L's. 3 L's I took was all 3 accounts that got suspended. But yeah, that's about it. That's all I do is like free talk where I drink on stream on the weekends, and occasionally I make videos, but all of it's on YouTube. We're going the YouTube route.
Yeah, and I'm going to be looking forward greatly to that Mother's Basement video that's going to be coming out that he's going to watch and get real mad about. All 5 seconds of it.
It's really not that long.
Also want to thank Spooky Weep Trash. You can find her youtube.com/Spooky Weep Trash, where right now she is working on the Gamergate documentary and trying to download videos.
I killed myself. I'm trying to edit this fucking video.
Just use 4K video downloader. That's what I use.
4K video downloader?
Yeah, like Richard Review Tech uses it. I use it. I'm pretty
4K
sure.
Video downloader. Oh. Is it 4K video downloader.ensoftnet.com?
I gotta look at that.
You can send
make sure she's not going to download a virus or anything.
Yeah, I know. Maybe she won't. At least she can't spill water on this one. You know.
Fuck yeah. Jesus Christ! I invite you to my podcast and you roast me like this?
Yes.
Fucker.
She spilled water on the computer that she had just bought for me. She's like, "Oh, okay." Spills water. I didn't know my cup had a hole in it.
No, it was I didn't know like the computer had like a hole in the top and it spilled water. Anyway, it doesn't fucking matter. Anyway, good night, everybody. Thank you for coming on our podcast. Appreciate it.
Good night, everybody. You can find us animeboomers.live, taking anchor.fm/animeboomers, youtube.com/thegatorgamer, which you can access from gatortime.live, and visit the Patreon if you want to watch us record these episodes, or YouTube memberships. You can go to patreon.com/thegatorgamer or youtube.com/thegatorgamer/join, and you can watch us record these lives, watch bonus content. Anyway, we will see you guys next time.